Hello, this is Lee Grisman and Charles Traynor on the Why Did You Pick This Album review. How are you doing, Charles?
Oh boy, we got a bitter vibe going already. Well, I'll tell you why I picked it. One, I might have
Doesn't matter why you picked it, but anyway, go on.
Might have had a few adult cocktails, and
Infant cocktails, go on.
The band just dropped it yesterday. It's brand new, and we have reviewed them before, once. And,
unfortunately, but go on.
Yeah, I was just really kind of like drunk, so that's pretty much what that boiled down to. So we were, and I've apologized 90 gazillion times to the great incomparable Lee Gerstmann. That's why, even though he still ain't quite forgiven me, but it's okay. I think it's okay, and we're going to do a band that go ahead and just tell them what we're doing, Lee.
Ghost's album Skeletal,
which just dropped yesterday.
Oh, just like a little baby drops his poop. Does that mean you take a picture of it?
Maybe if
and
it was
show everybody,
kid.
Oh, my baby just did a poop on his own, and it didn't land on my hand.
We call it duties, and maybe if it's your first kid, maybe, but not me at this point. Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Popeye with Robin Williams?
You
may not have liked it or whatever, but the song "Kids" by Poop Deck Pappy on that soundtrack.
Ah!
Yes, I agree with Poop Deck Pappy. Kids will ruin you. But anyway,
I like that name though.
Yeah, it's a really cool song. It's funny. But anyway, it's Ghost, and we're doing Skeleta. Now, one thing, I am a Ghost fan. Lee is not, typically. I would say, not really at all.
Correct.
He thinks Creed is good, and I think this is good. So that would say...
that's crazy.
That's a key difference. Now, but the other key difference, though, is I look at the band Ghost, and yes, they are not singing about typically nice things in life. But yet, it's so wrapped up with a nice pop bow, usually. But I don't care about that as much one way or the other. I look at this band like you would watch in a horror movie or something. I just don't really get into what they're singing about. I don't care. I do sometimes on some of their songs, not one on this album, by the way, but some of their songs, I would get why it would be dismaying. Totally. But I don't really care about that. I like the music.
Yeah.
I like the sound of it. I
don't know why.
This Tobias Forge, who at this time, and now is Papa Emeritus 72 or something, I don't know. It's a new version of, there's a whole story to the band that sometimes I can't even keep up with. I don't care to, actually. I just really listen to the music.
I wish you wouldn't care about any of it, but anyway, go on.
Okay. And, but I didn't. And, but this is a new album. They released 3 songs from the album, probably starting about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. But they didn't release like most of the album, like Metallica did. That's stupid. Just, but I would like to go back to the days where they don't release anything, just release the album, but whatever. I did hold out a minute and tried to not listen to the songs, but I did listen to the ones that were released. But basically, after the songs that were already released, I didn't know any of these songs, and this was actually the first time I listened to it, so this was the first time I reacted to it, and that's what I captured.
Oh,
in this
poopy,
review.
poopy, poopy, poo.
Maybe poopy, poopy, poo. We will see what poopy, poopy, poo.
I'm just saying, it's like, oh, I wrote my first word. What word is that? The letter A. Whoa. Anyway, who
Well,
wants to go first?
I think you should.
Okay, Peace Field. Okay, this is okay. It's not exactly what I usually listen to, but it's pleasant and a little better than some of their other stuff. Still, I wouldn't go out and buy it. What do you think?
This could be one of the first Ghost albums, maybe the only one. I'm not 100% sure. You Ghost fans that are bigger Ghost fans than I am can correct the record, but I think maybe it's the only one that never opened with an instrumental. We start with a child singing, kind of like Rolling Stones, maybe a little bit. Morphs into a choir, and then the guitar kicks in, and it's so very hair metal, but in a good way, not like crappy hair metal, but decent, I guess. The chorus is typical by Ghost choruses, but unfortunately, it gets to sounding a bit too Journey-like for me, and not that good Journey. Like shitty Journey. And I know Lee knows what shitty Journey is.
Yeah.
And so overall, not really my thing. Slightly underwhelming for a Ghost opening track. Go ahead, Lee.
Okay. What do you think of Lacrima?
They might as well be doing SOS by ABBA. You know, the keyboard freak of it. But thankfully it goes away quickly and we get metal riffage. And the riff reminds me of like first album Ghost, which they've never ever done anything like the first album. So sign me up for that. The chorus though is pretty typical of latter Ghost. So for the metal sounds alone, I can get with it, but it's lacking a wow factor for me. Go ahead, Lee.
Okay. I liked the beginning and thought it would be a good song, but then as it continued, it changed and it became merely bland. It was still listenable, but no longer my type of song. Okay.
So wait a minute. You like the beginning, so you like SOS by ABBA.
It didn't sound like that in the beginning.
Oh. Well, re-listen to it. Go ahead, Lee. Next
Anyway,
song.
yeah. You can talk about the next song. I'll talk about it, but I don't want to. I don't like the title. But what is the next song?
I thought it was Black Arena.
No, the next song.
I'm missing something.
Yeah.
We did Black Arena. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Let's call it Santa sized.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was the first song released, and the subject matter isn't for the squeamish. But for my money, this is the best one up to this point on the album. This is the style that Forge excels at as a writer. And I really think he's one of the best at marrying the sound of pop with metal. The solo is hair metal, and that guitar like a motherfucker. And while I still am not saying it's their best, this will do.
Okay, I would just say in general with songs where I don't like the titles and I don't like the particular thing, if it's at least not worse, and if it's not worse than the other songs, then at least the album has momentum. So that's what I'm going to say. All right. All right. Now, the next song, Guiding Lights, okay. At best, this sounds like a song someone wrote for the group Saga, and they spit out their coffee when they heard it and quickly kicked the guy out of the studio. Other than that, I'm not into it. It's bland music for teenagers with big American Express cards who think anything popular is good, and they don't know the difference between this and Judas Priest. I can pass. What do you think? And I'll be putting water in my thing while you talk.
Well, I wish I had that American Express card, because 4 songs in, and we get into ballad land. But for Ghost, they don't really do like love ballads. It's like usually an omen to Santa. But it's not like Richard Marx either. I thought it was excellent. So good that this could be offered up and be a hit. If they don't make one of it themselves. But I will say lyrically it could be a problem. Maybe you would have to change the lyrics, the structure of the song, and compositionally. This is his song. The guitar solo is a cross between David Gilmour and Bumblefoot from GNR back in Chinese Democracy days. And the vocal layers at the end are great. So I, of course, love this one. Guiding Light.
Ha. All right, what do you think of De Profundis?
De Profundis Berulius or something. It always, that's it. One thing, that is one thing I don't like about Ghost. I half time you can't pronounce their songs. But this one starts off with a curveball with some pseudo classical piano. Lead in like that, I'm really shocked. But then it kicks into this like riff that is relentless. This one seems to be the sing-along chorus at shows. Like, it's more metal than pop, that's for sure. But it seems like it's built for a live show. I like this one. I couldn't imagine it would be cool live. But in context of the album, it's filler. Go ahead, Lee.
Okay, I put another song that started out great, and I was hoping I'd like all of it. But then it changed and became another example of a band who likes to switch things up and hopes nobody notices how the song goes from Hammered to Take On Me. At least the drumming is good, so I'll give credit to that. Not my thing. Okay, now for Cenotaph. This song is actually good. That's because it doesn't start out pretending to be one way and then going another. It has the same vibe and melody throughout, and it's consistent. So I think of it as more honest. The mellowness of the melody doesn't bother me because they balance it with the right energy of playing and it works. I figured they'd at least have one good song on here. Now I'm worried they'll make up for it by having the rest of the album being clunkers. What do you think?
And once again, to show folks that Lee Gersman is the incomparable great one. I saw this as a curveball album so far because to me the opening cymbals make you think one thing, and then when they kick it in, it's like, yeah, not what I expected. Part of this song borrows from Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen, for sure. And that don't bother me.
Huh.
I'm not sure what to think of this one, though, other than I like it, and I'm really not sure I should. It's got a little Dream Theater-ish at points, too. Kind of like got a little too big for his britches, but I do like it. So fuck it. I dig it. That's my final answer. I like the song, but I'm going to have to listen to it a few more times to really dig it. But go ahead.
All right. What do you think of Missilia Amore?
What a title, right? And there it is. There's my ghost. This is their sound. And I'm glad they rewarded the faithful, and I happen to be one, with this. I'd like to think fans of the Scorpions would dig this. And we also get a little more Brian May worship here as well on the guitar tone. But to this point, this is the one song that I would point to people that if they know about Ghost at all, and this was the album I had to reference to them, listen to this one. Because this sums it up very nicely, because this is a very Ghost song. And I really like this one. So go ahead, Lee.
Okay, I put, this song is good enough. I do like it. It sounds like a mediocre Queensryche song from one of their albums that had way too many songs on it. But at least that's better than sounding like the theme song from Solid Gold, performed by people in costumes. I'm okay with this. Alright. Now for...
A Solid Gold reference? Oh, man.
No, Solid
right.
Gold. You remember
I
with
know.
it? Yeah. Ed McMahon.
Andy Gibb and Marilyn McCoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ed McMahon.
And no, he was Star Search.
Oh, okay. Now you got me there. I forgot about that.
Right.
Talk about someone who's younger than me, whose memory is older.
Well,
Anyway.
I would remember, because one of my favorite moments in the history of my loving rock and roll music was knowing the song Emotional Rescue, and they showed the video on Solid Gold. So that, and I had to see it. So
right on. Now, for Marks of the Evil One. I am not a fan of the lyrics or what the song is about, but oddly enough, musically, it's so far the best song on the album, and I enjoyed the music. Ghost would do well to do an instrumental album of their better songs. I'd be into that. What do you think?
Well, for a song about the pending end of the world, at least he sounds pleasant.
Yeah.
Back into a more Euro pop thing here.
I'm going to drink, so go on, keep talking.
But this is the dichotomy of this band, that you either get or you don't. And I had to say to one of our ex-co-hosts and explain it to him, this Santa, in this case, he may not come to you like snarling. He may come to you and tempt you in a nice way. And you won't necessarily know what you're doing if you believe in these kind of things. So I think they might have the market on that. And but it's just a poppy song, you know. It's a two pop for me. And it's not tremendous. It's just here. It isn't completely without merit. The guitar solo is really great, but
yeah.
But it's just whatever. It's just here. It's just a pop song.
Huh.
Not my thing. All right.
It's weird. We're starting to disagree as far as what I think is good. But anyway, what do you think of the last song, Umbra?
I thought we had Foreigner on it here a second.
Huh?
I thought we were listening to Foreigner when we heard this song, Umbra. Like, not the good
I'm
Foreigner.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, the Foreigner, like, I Want to Know What Love Is era. That album. What was that album? You know it. Not four.
Not four. It was the one like something investigations or private
some really
conversations.
Something really.
I didn't have it. I listened to it, but I didn't own it.
Yeah, and you're a smart man.
Maybe
'Cause I thought-
Agent Provocateur or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
Agent Provocateur. Correct.
I don't know how I remember that, but go on.
Good. Well, thank you for saving us because it sounds a little like that in the beginning. I don't like that version of Foreigner. But Tobias Forge wears his influences on his sleeve. And even though I don't like Foreigner in that era like that, I would still wear like a Noel Gallagher, like a real songwriter. I'd wear my...
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'd wear my influence on my sleeve. So even though I don't like that, I do respect that he's trying that. And once you get by the Foreigner worship, the guitar kicks in, and it doesn't fuck around. And Forge's vocals sound like he's in a tunnel, which is a nice effect. The chorus brings this down a hair, though. But then we get the cowbell. So it's like real Blue Oyster Cult worship here. Like, I hear some Blue Oyster Cult in this song as well. Foreigner, Blue Oyster Cult. I mean, I don't know what to say, but, it's not that great. But I do think this could be a grower. It was the first time I heard it when we did the review. So go ahead.
Okay, this went back and forth for me as far as liking it and not caring for it that much. Overall, I'll be fair and say it's okay, but they're back at doing that starting great and then changing to not so great on this song. So there you go. Hello?
I'm right here, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I have to say.
All right, man.
Yeah.
So we're ready to go. We have one more song.
We do?
Yeah, we do.
I don't remember there being one more song.
There is. It's called Excelsius.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I did Excelsius, but what the hell happened? I thought that I wrote what I thought. I think I'll have to try to remember. Give me a moment because I didn't write down. Oh, I think okay. I'll just say what I thought. I thought it was interesting. It's kind of maybe a sort of a mellow tune, but with a progressive element to it that kind of got maybe a little bit heavier later, and that overall it was fine, but it wasn't my favorite. That's what I thought. Okay. Because I remember listening to it, and I remember thinking that I wrote down the notes, but I didn't. But I remember hearing the tune. What do you think?
I wouldn't be able to come at the great one for that because of the fact we did 4 albums today. We close out with a ballad-esque song. That's what I would call it. Actually, there's a song, I can't remember which one, but when they kept saying the Love Rockets, that's about as close to a song where Tobias actually sang about a person and wanting to have sex or anything that we could relate to in human life. This one, again, not so much. You couldn't relate to life. But I'm just going to say, I don't know what Ghost is going to do after this, because this is the most positive song I've ever heard from them as far as it being non-evil. I mean, if you really listen to lyrics, this is a positive song that's not big-upping Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And it really threw me for a loop. So, but maybe it isn't, because again, Tobias is a very clever guy. So I don't know if it's meant to be interpreted in the way I see it, but maybe I really was thrown for a loop, and I'm going to think I just have to think it's the way I see it. This is a curveball of curveballs. This is the first song I've ever heard from them that's not Big Up in Santa. They like Rudolph on this one.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, though, even though I like that aspect, I do think it's kind of a bore.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why they ended the album with this, other than the message.
Yeah.
Now, the guitar solo is outstanding. And I'm sure it'll be on the live set list when they go on tour. I am pretty sure. But it's not their best. It's mildly satisfying. And I like this album, but it's not their best, at least for now, because I only heard like the majority of it once. There might be some growers, but for me, it's not. It's okay. It's passable, but it's not that great. But maybe it will grow with me in stature and time. Oh, great one.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm so glad that actually I survived the review. And Lee kind of liked the song or more better than I did, which I'm amazed.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
I'm amazed.
I'm amazed too. But you do know what good is, and they know what. And Tobias Forge does know how to write a good song.
I guess.
But I think they have better. But this was okay. It's okay. It's not the worst.
I would prefer if they just quit, but they're not going to.
Ain't gonna happen, because they're the only band that's not in their 90s that's trying to do rock music or metal or whatever and still do their thing. And they are huge in Europe.
Yeah.
And I mean, whether you like them or not, I get the message. But like I said, Lee, what I look at it as is more of a satire on humanity. I don't really look at it as it's this actual what this person believes. I think it's a satire.
I do agree. I do think that they're poking fun. But then again, you know, I do prefer other groups. But it was okay to do this album.
And I'm so happy for that. But if we were going to be honest,
I don't want you to be so happy, but a little happy is fine.
I would say I'm so happy.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying is, let's keep it real though. What is actually out there? I mean, Ghost is not a new band at this point. I mean, they've been around 10, 15 years at this point.
Yeah.
But what is really out there with something with the guitar, bass, drums? Rival Sons? No, they suck. I mean, there's not a lot of really. What was the band before that sounded like Zeppelin?
Oh, Greta Van Fleet.
No. I mean, one of my best friends in life who knows great rock and roll music, he's older than you, Lee. He'd been like your uncle. He plays bass. He's been around the world. He fell for Greta Van Fleet. And the problem I had with it was like, we are so starved as a rock and roll community that a Led Zeppelin knockoff, like this fucking band, Greta Van Fleet, you might fall for if you listen to a song. But no, they're fucking Led Zeppelin knockoff. I mean, there's not a lot of newer rock bands. There's maybe a few, but not a lot. That keeps it going. Ghost is trying. Whether you hate them or not, at least they're still doing it. And they throw enough love at bands we like, but I get when people don't like their subject matter. Like,
Yeah.
I do get it. But
Yeah.
this was, I'm kind of amazed you kind of like this album a little better than I did.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I'm upset but amazed too.
But that's okay.
No, it isn't.
I also said though, but to be fair, outside of the singles they released, I really didn't listen to it. This was the first reaction.
Yeah. Next time you think about doing one of their albums, maybe you might want to instead pick another group. Okay? Maybe.
But
Yeah. Because I don't want to keep bringing you bread.
You know what?
I don't want to keep bringing you bread albums.
No, bread.
Yeah.
When I would do it, but I mean, of course, coming soon. It's coming. The newest Oasis album, and then that's all you.
That one's fine.
Yeah, we will have to do that if they ever actually do it. But allegedly they are. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, and it will be better than any Ghost album.
In fact, I would review the bonus tracks on a compilation from Liam Gallagher. If I find all of them and give you the names, I do what could be called the Lee's.
The Lost Lee. Liam album.
The Lee's Liam. Yeah, thank you. Otherwise, the Lee's pick. You know, because
the odd thing is that the oddest thing is that we reviewed some Liam albums and you like them.
And that's why I'm saying I'd be into listening to the bonus stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be easy. That's easy. Every one of them have bonus, but
yeah,
we're not gonna do that. In the end, the only reason why we did this fucking album, and I hope you ghost twats will just click this to listen to it. We only picked this because I was drunk. That was it.
And is that an
I'd have never fucking asked Lee to do this if I wasn't drunk. And it's true. So I caught a lot of hell through the day. I'm just glad that Lee ended up liking it more than me. Because if he didn't, I might not be ever on here again.
And well,
Travis Parada might be the new co-host on the Lee Gerstner show.
Oh boy.
Because he knows music and food. But anyway, let's say bye-bye to the folks. And Ghost, this is not their best album, but it's not that bad. And Lee liked it more than me. So
okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Okay. Bye-bye.